Hello, Planeswalkers! It is Tyler.
And Andrew.
And today we're bringing you a bit of a different Taps for Two that I'm 100% original in coming up with and did not steal from Loading Ready Run, despite the fact that right before we started recording, I told Andrew, who was unsure of what we were doing, that I stole this idea from Loading Ready Run.
Yeah, I'm basically fresh to this whole video concept like 2 minutes before we hit record.
Yeah, so long story short, I'm moving in a couple weeks, so I kind of wanted to do like some easy videos on my end so I can get them knocked out quick. But anyway, what we're doing today is I bought some spicy Zendikar Rising boosters, and I got 3 of them.
Are they
and
regular boosters or set boosters?
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So I got three unopened boosters, and I figured we'd crack them, talk about what I open, how we're feeling about Zendikar Rising. I know I've been playing it in Standard. Andrew and I have currently both been, collecting stuff for Commander. So I do have 3 different boosters.
Okay.
So we'll start with the basic. I've got a 15 card draft booster here. We'll start with that.
Oh, do you have one of each?
Oh. Hold on. Well, so let's just launch into this. Let's see if I can pick that up. Okay. So, Andrew, how do you feel about Zendikar Rising so far?
I think it's my favorite set this year, honestly. There's a lot of stuff from it that I personally love. I love Landfall, I love Kicker, I love Omnath.
Well, Omnath's just your favorite character in general.
And there's a lot of elementals, and that's my favorite tribe in the game, and this is just my set, like Ikoria was for you.
No, that's fair. Alright, so first we've got a Sight Adept. 2 and a white for a 3/3 core wizard. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each draw a card.
It's okay. It's card draw in white, as symmetrical as it is.
Yeah, it's bad card draw in white, which is just card draw in white, I guess.
It would be it would be a decent popper card, I guess. And in Commander, you can play the political game like, hey, if I let you draw a card, well, it's a small effect, so it's not like a big.
Yeah, but drawing a card is still nothing to
scoff at. I'll let you draw a card if you don't swing that at me.
No, you're absolutely right. Next, we've got Fischer Wizard. Yeah. 1 in a red. Real quick, because back to back, I've got a white wizard, a red wizard, and a blue wizard that are all different races. Anyway, Fischer Wizard, 1 in a red for a 2/1 Goblin Wizard. When he enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So 2 wizards that care about card draw.
Yeah.
Because wizard is one of the big themes in this whole set. It's wizard, rogue,
warrior, and cleric.
That's right, because we're going back to D&D.
It's the debut of the party mechanic.
Yeah, which I remember you and I just did a Winston draft of this not too long ago, and you started one of our games with, man, I don't really think I like the party mechanic, and then promptly killed me with the party mechanic.
Yeah, I started out that draft like, I don't really care for party, and then I was like, well, I guess I have a bunch of party cards, so I guess that's what I'm building, and then I just stomped you with it. So it's fun.
Is the blue wizard. Next up, we got the blue wizard, the Cascade Seer. 3 and a blue for a 3/3 Merfolk wizard, so we got a core, a goblin, and a Merfolk. When it enters the battlefield, scry X, or X is the number of creatures in your party. So at its very worst, it is a 3/3 for 4 when it ETB scry 1.
Yes.
Which, all things considered, I mean, for a common,
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's fine. Next, we've got, this one I'm actually a huge fan of. The Hagra Constrictor. Sorry, my microphone is like very badly picking me up right now.
When it enters the battlefield, it enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has menace.
Yeah,
Ew.
I used him in our thing.
Yeah, you did.
In our wins. Yeah, the +1/+1 counter payoffs, which I think are in red-green, are super, super cool.
Yeah. I feel like in a proliferate deck this would be neat, like either Golgari or Sultai.
Yeah. I've got like a deck that cares about +1/+1 counters, but it's Simic, so yeah. Next we've got Adventure Awaits. 1 in a green for a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, draw a card.
Huh.
That's interesting. So you get to look at 5, potentially 6 cards for 2 mana.
Yeah.
And I do like that they tacked on the draw card at the end of this, because normally when you see effects like this, like if you whiff and you get nothing, and in this, like
you get something.
If you don't have any creatures, or if you don't have a creature that you want, you still get something.
Yeah. I also like I think that's the same party as in the card what is it, Spoils of Adventure?
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Mirasa Brute, who's a 2 in a green, 3/3 troll warrior. And that is it. I like his design. I like how he looks. He is one ugly SOB, but
3/3 for 3. Yeah.
And he's a warrior. He does what? He helps with party. Next I got an equipment. I got the utility knife. 1 mana artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and equipped for 3. I think all the equipment in this set attaches itself on entry, which I think is awesome and I think is terrifying. Because part of I think the downside of equipment was you didn't get to use it right away. And this stuff, it's nah.
But here it's acting more like an enchantment aura that you can move.
Yeah.
That sticks around if the creature dies.
Yeah. Sizzling Barrage. I realize we probably don't have much to talk about as far as the commons and uncommons go, but that's just expected. 1 in a red for an instant. It deals 4 damage to target creature that blocked this turn.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that also the artwork is hilarious because this man is just getting set upon by a bunch of tiny fire lizards. I believe if you attack and they block before damage is dealt, that means that the creature has blocked this turn and you can Sizzling Barrage it.
Oh, interesting. So it could be a combat trick.
I mean, it's either a combat trick or a finisher.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of burn spells that are limited in this way. I'm cool with the ones that are it can either only hit a creature or can only hit a player, but I'm not a huge fan of these kind.
Yeah.
Deadly Alliance. Really good Mortal Kombat game. 4 and a black instant. It costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party, so at its best, it's a single black instant for destroy target creature or planeswalker. I have not seen this card before now.
Neither have I. It's a...
And,
for being a common, it's an awfully uncommon common.
He could handle any one of us, but he's no match for all of us. The flavor text. I like this one. I wish Party cared more about just having 4 different creature types as opposed to these specific ones. Otherwise, I'd be putting Deadly Alliance in almost every single deck that I have that can run it.
Yeah, because at its best, it's a 1 mana kill a creature. It's really good value.
Which is, creature or planeswalker.
Oh yeah, that's just value.
I think it's a 1 mana hero's downfall, which is oofa doofa. The last common is Highborn Vampire. 3 and a black for a 4/3 vampire warrior.
Huh.
That's it.
Pretty basic.
Yeah, he's certainly a vampire warrior. Moving on to the uncommons, we've got Grotag Night Runner. 2 and a red for a 2/3 Goblin Rogue. When he deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So he's an impulse draw, for which we've seen red get a ton of in these last couple of sets. Like there's that Furious Rise, that's just this but better.
Yeah.
Man, though, the rogue deck that is currently in standard, granted the rogue deck that's in standard right now is black-blue, but it's rogue mill, and it is a nightmare, and I'm building it on Arena, because I have lost to it too many times.
Next.
Oh, here's one that's one word change away from being like an auto include in your night deck.
Oh yeah.
And that's Core Blade Master. 1 and a white for a 1/1 core warrior with double strike, and equipped warriors you control have double strike.
Oh yeah, if it was equipped knights, it would be amazing.
Or even if it was just equipped creatures, like Jesus Christ. My last uncommon is a modal double face card, Spikefield Hazard.
Oh, nice.
The single red instant deals 1 damage to any target. If a permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead, and flips into Spikefield Cavern, or Spikefield Cave.
This was an answer to Uro before Uro was banned.
Yeah, this was an answer to Uro before Wizards had an answer for Uro. Real shame that Uro wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
I've got a full art mountain. My token is the Goblin Construct token. If my rare is Archon of Emeria, I'm going to be furious. Because I have like 6 of them now. My rare is Archon of Emeria.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. 2 and a white, 2/3 flying Archon. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Non-basic land, 0 opponent control. Enter the battlefield tapped. Great. I'm going to throw him onto the pile.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Let's move on. So if that was the appetizer, let's move on to the main course. I don't even want to talk about that Archon. That Archon makes me angry. I do have a Zendikar Rising set booster.
Yeah.
See if I can. Yeah.
Get that good crinkle in the microphone. This is pack opening ASMR. Go ahead.
So these saw the return of the art cards that we saw in Modern Horizons, which I love. I think the art series is super, super cool. Why am I so... One second. Why am I so quiet? Oh, there we go. Anyway, my art card, I got the big pig. Yasharn, Implacable Earth. And a full art forest. Glacial Grasp. 2 and a blue for an instant. Actually, do I only... How many rares do I have going on? Okay, I have just the 1. Okay. Glacial Grasp, 2 and a blue instant. Tap target creature. Its controller mills 2 cards. Creature doesn't untap during its controller next untap step. Draw a card. This does a lot for 3 mana. This hits all of blue's chords.
Yeah, was this... I think there was another card that's in this set that's 3 mana and does a lot, unless this is it.
No, you're thinking of the green one.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's still just a lot for 3 mana.
But it does everything that blue does short of bouncing a thing. It has the frost effect, it mills, and it draws a card.
Yeah, you get an effect per mana.
Yeah. Next we've got Anti-Cognition.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. 1 and a blue, instant counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controller pays 2. If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, instead counter that spell, then scry 2.
So if they... Go ahead.
I was going to say, if I'm reading this correctly, it means if they've got the 8 cards, this is a hard counter.
Yes. And then you scry 2. So it's worse counter magic if they don't have the 8 cards, but it's better counter magic if they do, and it's kind of a gamble. So I don't really
if only,
like it.
There was an archetype that was all about flooding an opponent's graveyard and with their own deck. Also, the flavor text on this one is also great. Just I think not. I love flavor text on counter magic. I think one of your favorite ones is the no thank you.
Yeah, and also no, and no.
Oh yeah, that's the what is it? Whirlwind of Denial.
Yeah.
No, and no. Like counter magic, like it's just so good. Okay, good. My levels are back to normal. Next up, I've got Skyclave Sentinel, a 3 mana for a 2/3 artifact creature gargoyle with kicker of 4. Kicker's back. It's got flying and defender. I never actually noticed that this thing had defender.
Yeah.
If it was kicked, it enters with 2 +1/+1 counters, and as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. So you're either getting a 2/3 flying defender for 3, or you're getting a 4/5 flyer for 7. Which, I mean, for colorless mana, like, obviously we have better options in Commander, and I don't even see him in Standard, so I don't know why I'm about to try and justify this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly a gargoyle.
I feel like most sets have that one artifact creature that is just bad.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, hey, for the limited environment, anyone can run this, but no one wants to run this. At least this is better than when it was Prismite. Yeah.
We got Prismite like 3 sets, didn't we?
Yeah. Prismite? Prismite not. Anyway, speaking of Might of Mirasa, a big frog. Another kicker spell. 1 in a green, instant, target creature gets +3/+3, which I think is... No, it's not. Titanic Growth is +4/+4 for 2 mana. +3/+3. If the spell was kicked, that creature gets +5/+5 instead. So either 2 mana for +3/+3, or 5 mana for +5/+5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take Giant Growth, please. Thank you.
I like the art, though.
The continent of Mirasa is defined by irrepressible growth, both natural and otherwise. Next, I've got Gnarlid Colony, who I believe is a callback to an older Gnarlid card, but don't quote me on that. Also, a kicker for 1 in a green, whose kicker cost is 2 in a green. For 1 in a green, you get a 2/2 beast. If he was kicked, he gets 2 +1/+1 counters, and each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. I love these kind of effects. We saw a bunch of them in Ikoria, just like the keyword lords.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, if they had a counter or if they had this ability, they all get this thing. And the colony isn't super exciting, but Gnarlids are kind of cute to look at.
Yeah, they're like bear antelope.
Yeah, barely antelope. Roost of Drakes, which I'm just now noticing is only a single blue for an enchantment, which is pretty neat. Kicker, 2 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying, and whenever you cast a kick spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. So this is a kicked version of Drakehaven. Drakehaven was whenever you cycled a card, you got to make a 2/2 flying Drake. But it was an enchantment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I put this card in my Yarok deck because I'm reworking it to focus more on kicker. So it's going to have like 20 or 30 kicker spells in it. So
Are you putting that Serpent in there, or is the Serpent getting his own deck? Okay.
Verazal is in there.
Shout out to you for having his name right off the top, because, man, I barely remember his title.
Of the Split Current, I believe?
Yeah, and I believe that has to do with the fact that if you look at his mouth, it's like a 4-piece star.
Yeah.
Next I've got the Skyclave Pickaxe in the fancy Landfall art.
Oh yeah, I love that art.
Oh yeah, no, I love that they started doing this to highlight like special mechanics of doing like these special frames. Like they had the comic book arts
for Mutate,
and they had
There's a special frame in M21, right?
Yeah, they were for the cards that were affiliated with the Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
It's a Skyclave Pickaxe, single green. It's another one of those equipment that, when it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature. It equips for 2 and a green, and whenever a land and it's got landfall. So whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, equipped creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You're the landfall guy. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I think the only 2 decks that I would consider running it in are my 2 Omnath decks, the 3-color and 4-color ones, because
Are you still going ahead with building?
Go in Yarok.
Are you still going ahead with building all 4 Yaroks or all 4 Omnaths?
Yes, because I have 2 and 3-color, and 4-color is like halfway done, and then I just need monocolor.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. Because it's just. I think I would consider running it in my 2-color Omnath deck, just because that's a deck that cares about dealing a lot of damage, and there's more trample effects in there that I could take advantage of. But other than that,
get like 3 or 4 triggers off this thing. Give the equip thing like +8/+8. Just swing in like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't see getting a lot of use out of this.
I tried putting it in, I think, my Selesnya deck, and it got cut like first chance I got.
Mm-hmm.
Like these pretty cards, like I want to like foil out or bling out like my decks, and then once I actually get past that and I realize the card's not that good, I take them out.
Yeah, I was sad to find out that the special art of this... Well, sad but not surprised that the special art of this card is actually cheaper than the normal one.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with a lot of these things. Anyway, next I've got 4 cards left. We've got Ardent Electromancer, 2 and a red for a 3/2 human wizard. When he enters the battlefield, add red for each creature in your party. So, at his best, or her best, I don't know, you pay 3, they enter the battlefield, you get 4 back.
At their worst, they make themselves 1 cheaper, basically.
I mean, at their worst, it's a 2-mana 3/2, which, with no downside, which is honestly not that bad. Like, I like her. She's alright. Hey, were we done with the equipment that attaches when it enters the battlefield? Nope. So we've got I've got the colorless one, and I've got the green one. How about the black one? Mind Carver. Just deeply unsettling artwork.
I think it's awesome.
Single black.
Why do you not like it? I thought you were a black player.
I never said I didn't like it. I said it had deeply unsettling artwork. Mind Carver, single black. When Mind Carver enters the battlefield, attach it to a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. That's why I don't like it. It gets +3/+1 instead, as long as your opponent has 8 or more cards in their grave, equipped for 2 and a black. No keywords, a boring stat boost. That's why I don't like it. Like, the art's going for it, but that's about it.
I think I put a copy of this in my Knights deck. Just because 1 mana and it's auto-equip. I like that.
Yeah, your Knight deck is terrifying. Like, it's
You say that about all my decks.
Yeah, and what does that tell you?
That I build good decks.
I build scary decks. I have a foil. Oblivion's Hunger. 1 and a black for an instant. This one I really like. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Draw a card if that creature had a +1/+1 counter on it. I like this one. I like the instant speed, grant indestructibility, and just the additional, like, hey, if it's got a counter, draw a card. Like, I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to make this card work in standard right now. And my rare is good. Were we done with equipment? No? Cool. Maul of the Skyclaves, yeah. This one I actually really like, though. 2 and a white, enters when it enters, attach. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, flying, and first strike. I want to know why they have flying.
It's a lot. That I did. I also put that in my Knights deck. It's so good. I mean, I guess because it's Maul of the Skyclaves is why it gives flying.
Oh, okay. Well, my cat just knocked over my fan, so that'll be fun. One moment. I mean, like, is it like Thor? Where you, like, throw the hammer and you just, like, fly along with it?
Maybe. That'd be cool. I like this card a lot, though.
So...
As if Sir Gwyn needed more keywords.
Sir Gwyn... What does Sir Gwyn already have? Menace?
Death Touch and Menace.
Why does Sir Gwyn have Death Touch?
Let me look up the card. Hold on. Sir Gwyn, Vigilance and Menace. Sorry.
Okay, so I got one last card in this pack, and it's something that I don't think Wizards has ever that Wizards has ever actually done before, and it's a Magic mini game.
What?
Yeah, Royale. 2 to 6 players, 1 pack, 5 minutes. Objective: ancient core ruins are being discovered across Zendikar. Be the first. Thank you, Train. Be the first to locate the ruins while avoiding the wrath of the royal. Get ready. Open a pack of magic cards and remove any cards without magic card backs, so like tokens and cards like this. Then place all the cards face down on the table and randomize them. Whoever went camping most recently goes first. Players take turns revealing one of the cards on the table. Each card has unique properties that may help the player on their way to the ruins. Commons are campsites. Once revealed, they're discarded. Uncommons, rares, and mythics are guides. When a player reveals a guide, they keep that card. Foils are maps. When a player reveals a map, they keep that card. Players can use maps to peek at one of the cards on the table before choosing a card to reveal. The map is then put back onto the table face down. The cards are randomized and play continues. Foil, uncommons, rares, and mythics can be used as either a map or a guide. The basic land is the location of the ruins. When a player reveals the land, if they have no guides, they are killed by the royal and eliminated from the game. If that player has one guide, they survive. In either case, the ruins and the guide are put back onto the table face down, the cards are randomized, and play continues. To win, the first player to collect 2 guides and find the ruins, or the last player standing, wins. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of weirdness, but I guess I don't know, it's a free thing, so...
It's a little minigame, you know? Alright, so we kind of sped through those. You know, we're coming up in about half an hour. I do have one more pack here with me. The Piece of the Resistance. the savory, I guess not savory, the sweet dessert at the end of this meal. That is, I did get a collector's booster.
Nice.
So let's... Wow, that was super quiet. Okay. That's just me crumpling the paper by the thing. Okay. Alrighty. So, I think almost everything in this is foil. And so it looks like I've got... What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commons. And then uncommons and whatever. Anyway, Fischer Wizard making his triumphant return. He heard. Also Cascade Seer making her triumphant return. Now both in foil though. So that's fun. Not even gonna bother with them. Expeditionskulker. 1 and a black for a 2/2 Vampire Rogue. It has Death Touch as long as you control another rogue. Bear with upside.
Minor upsides.
Yeah, but it's still upside. This is... Oh, actually, here we go. The next card is Feed the Swarm. 1 and a black for sorcery. This one I'm really excited about. 1 and a black for sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment and opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. Black can finally deal with enchantments.
Huh. Yeah.
I don't think mono black has had a way to deal with enchantments outside of Unstable Obelisk, which is colorless. And Spine of Ishsaw, which is also colorless. But I think this is the first time that a mono black card can target and destroy an enchantment. Granted, it has the kind of black card drawback of losing life, but you're in black, that doesn't matter.
Drawback.
Rabid Bite. Every time I see these, I hope that they're an instant, and they never are. 1 and a green, sorcery, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. One-sided fight.
Yeah.
Which, it's a little disappointing that these kind of spells are kind of going away from, like, traditional fighting. Like, I think we're just making green way too powerful. Like, if green wants to get in there, either get something big or die swinging.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that's just green removal.
Yeah,
like,
it super is, because green has all the big creatures. Or most of the big creatures.
Yeah, no, if you want the big beef, you go into green. Demon's Disciple, I'm sorry. Oh, he's just a better, so he's 2 and a black for a 3/1 human cleric. When he enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. He's a better fleshbag marauder.
Ah. Interesting.
Where, because fleshbag is the same stat line and same cost. He's a zombie warrior, I think. I know he's a zombie. I don't know if he's a warrior. But he's only, each player sacks a creature.
Yeah, he is a zombie warrior.
Great. I don't know how that thing's a warrior, but no, because there's also so we've got Fleshbag Marauder, we've got this guy, and then I think the final step up is
Massacre Girl?
No, we got him in War of the Spark, I think. Plague Crafter. Where if like he comes down and everyone has to sack a creature or a planeswalker, but any opponent who can't has to discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
So we've kind of got... So yeah, like Fleshbag Marauder's the worst, but he's a zombie, so he's got that tribal synergy going for him. Then we've got this guy, the Demon's Disciple, and then we've got... That guy I think is also a 3/2. McKindy Stampede. I really like this one. It's another modal card. 3 white, sorcery. Creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn, or it's the McKindy Mesas, and it's a land that enters tapped and taps for white. How do you, so if you have one of these modal cards, and you want to put it into a commander deck, do you replace a spell, or do you replace a land?
If the modal card is a spell, as most of them are, I would replace a spell, because I'm worried about mana screw. But if it's one of the modal lands, I replace a land.
I mean, is it really mana screw if you can use the Stampede as a land?
I mean, it enters tapped, which is why I'm not a big fan of it. So most of the time, I don't see myself using it as a land, and so that's why I choose to cut a spell.
Oh, that's fair. I always cut lands. Just because I want as many spells as possible. Especially because I've got a copy of Field of the Dead that I run in my mono black deck. And so having all of these that can be spells, or if I need them to be lands that trigger and give me zombies, it's
that's
great.
Fair, actually. If
I
would be Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I would be more into them if they counted as lands in the deck, which they don't, so you can't search them. Which
that
means
they've got some fringe usage, but you're right. I think it's mostly when it comes to searching, from the deck. You're right. 99% of the time, you're not able to grab them.
If I could put a mortal permanent in my Golos deck and just drop whatever permanent I want out of my deck that's a modal card, I would love that, but that's not possible, so...
How is Golos worded?
Let's see. See how he's worded. When he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card, put that card into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library.
Okay, you're right. He cannot grab them.
Yeah.
There's a specific wording that if a card has it, let's say you've got one, let's say for sake of the fact that I have it in front of me, you have this McKindy Stampede, and it's in your graveyard. And you have the Green Warden of Mirasa, who's the one who I believe said you can play lands from your graveyard.
Yes.
That kind of wording, you could target the McKindy Stampede and play it from your grave as the McKindy Mesa.
Oh, that's cool, but you still have to pay its mana cost.
What?
Right?
No.
Would you still...
No, you play it from the grave as the Mesas.
Oh, I see.
So it's that wording, where if the card is in a location that another card says you may play lands from, you can play these as their land side. But if it's a target land, you cannot.
Okay. Interesting.
I have a foil Cup Island.
Hey,
I love Cup Islands so much. We're on to the fancy cards. I've got an extended art, Skyclave Apparition, so 1 white for a 2/2 core spirit. So this is a really interesting take on the O-ring effects that we see all the time in white. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you do not control with CMC 4 or less. When the apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the CMC of the exiled card.
Yeah, so it's better than returning the exiled card to the battlefield.
Exactly. They get something.
Strictly better than that.
They get something, but they don't get what they had. And as it turns out, when I had this played against me, do you know Stone Coil Serpent?
Vaguely, yes.
It's the X mana XX, or it's the X mana 0/0, the rare snake from Innistrad, or not Innistrad, from Eldraine. It's got reach, and I think... No, it doesn't have trample, but it's got reach, and it's got protection from multicolor.
Yeah.
Its CMC is 0. So the apparition comes down and exiles it, and if you get rid of the apparition, you just get a 0/0 illusion, and the illusion just dies.
That's funny.
It's not.
I like that interaction. It's funny.
Yeah, I hate it. Next, I've got Aura, Skyclave Hierophant. Not the buy box version, though. I guess Wizards has stopped doing the mechanically unique cards as buy box promos, and now they're just alternate arts for cards that are in the set. And the buy box promo for this one is Aura.
Wish they would stop doing mechanically unique cards for Secret Lives. That's a topic. There you go.
Well, that's for another time. Two white black for a 3/3 core cleric with lifelink. When he or another cleric you control dies, return target cleric with lesser CMC from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it wasn't for that last bit, I would say throw this guy into your Athreos deck immediately.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, like, if it was lesser than or equal to mana cost, I would be all over it. But since it says lesser...
Because in your Athreos deck, you run a collection of the Shadowborn Apostles.
Shadowborn Apostles, which are single black, right?
Yeah, they're single black. Sacrifice 6 of them to go get a demon and put it into play. I almost guarantee you that those were in R&D's mind when they were designing this guy, because if he didn't have this restriction, you would just grab every demon out of your deck.
Oh yeah, I'm so sad. I mean, I understand it's balancing. It's a good thing that it doesn't say equal or less than or equal to. But what could have been just makes me sad.
What could have been would have been broken.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I'm totally with you. There's just that devious side of me that really wishes it were true.
No, I feel ya. Next, so we're coming down to the last couple cards. Prowling Felidar in the fun Landfall skin. 3 and a white for a 2/3 cat beast with vigilance and landfall. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. This guy and the Territorial Scythe Cat are like almost the exact same thing, but one's in white, one's in green. Because the Scythe Cat, I think, is 2 and a green for a 2/1 with trample, but has this exact same landfall ability.
I should probably put this in Lena.
What, the Felidar?
I should. Yeah. Maybe. Because it gets bigger just from landfall.
I mean, I like it. I like the Scythe Cat. So I like this thing's stat line, but I like the fact that Scythe Cat has trample.
Yeah. You're the kind of person who would prefer trample to vigilance for sure.
Oh, I super am.
I like keeping my blocker up, especially if it's going to keep getting bigger whenever I play a land.
Oh yeah, no.
That just becomes a wall after a while.
The Felidar is great, but yeah, let me trample over your wall. I got the Dreadworm, also in its fancy landfall art. 4 and a black for a 5/4 worm horror landfall. It gains indestructible until end of turn. I like this guy. I do.
Neat.
He's just a big dumb idiot who sometimes you cannot kill.
I could put it in Yarok and it would get indestructible.
Sure,
just completely
it's not
useless.
It's not gonna do anything. It's like if you give double riot to a creature, you can give it double haste, which doesn't do anything, but it can have it.
Yeah, watch them make it a mechanic in either some future set. If this has double a keyword, do a thing.
Like if it's got double flying, then not even flyers can block it. Only things with double flying can block it. If it's got double haste, then only things with haste can block it.
If it's got double haste, then it has got double haste. it can deal combat damage before anything else. It's got super first strike.
It's having double haste just gives it an entirely new ability. Next up,
Firster strike.
The firstest strike. That's just double strike. All right, down to the last 3. I'm gonna say 3.5 cards because I have a token here. Fearless Fledgling, also in the landfall frame. Which the landfall frame, so 1 and a white for a 1/1 Griffin. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, it gets a counter, and it gains flying until end of turn. The landfall frame for this card is great. The regular,
it's super cool, but then you look at the original,
and it looks like my mom's dog Charlie.
It's just a stupid seagull.
It's a seagull griffin.
Oh my god.
No, this thing, I mean, it's like the Felidar. It gets bigger. I've got a full art, one of the pathway lands, the Clearwater Pathway. So it's the full art, taps for a blue on the front, taps for a black on the back. I love these. I love these so much.
These are so cool.
I wish they would have, done all 10 of them. I think we only got like 7.
We got 7, which is a weird number to me.
Yeah, but just the fact that they tap for a color, and you can pick which color you want, and they don't come in tapped. Like, these are awesome. Like, especially, like,
the only way...
every deck I have in Commander that can run these is getting them.
Same. The only way they could be better is if they had the basic land types on them.
Oh, yeah. But if we did that, chances are they would probably be like $30-40 a copy. If you could search these things.
Yeah. Because they're already $6.
Nice.
Like, around that ballpark.
So, then I've got a foil Drake token. With a foil plant token on the back.
Neat.
So, the box topper cards, all the really expensive lands that you could only get as box toppers if you bought a booster pack or a booster box.
Did you get one?
They are also available in the collector's boosters.
Which one did you get?
I got and it's a foil, the Prismatic Vista. I got a fetch land for basics.
Ooh. Is a $35 card.
Yeah, buddy. And now is that foil or
That's
non-foil?
really good.
Or is it only available in foil?
I'm only looking at Scryfall. So let me try TCG player. It might only be available in foil. Prismatic Vista. Oh. Oh.
Yeah?
The foil is $78.
Jesus Christ. Not my best pull.
Nice. You just paid for all of your packs and then some.
Yeah. This is like I haven't told this story on the podcast yet, but I did tell you about it. I went out with my girlfriend like 2 weeks ago or a week ago or something like that, and we went wearing masks and everything. We were all very safe. We went and we got dinner, and when we were picking up dinner, there's a game shop, and my girlfriend's a colossal nerd, similar to me, although for her it's D&D, for me it's Magic. And we went to this little game store, and she bought like 6 sets of dice. But I bought one collector booster for Zendikar Rising. And I opened a foil Ancient Tomb. Taps for 2 colorless and deals 2 damage to you. I then promptly sold it to the store and got another collector booster and the Naya commander deck, like just basically a straight trade across, cracked that collector booster, got a foil extended art Scourge of the Skyclaves, sold that back to the store, and I got a third collector booster. So I got 3 collector's boosters and a commander deck for the price of 1 collector booster.
You gotta take me to that that game store sometime. I want to go there. I want that kind of luck.
Oh, that's not about.
What store is it?
I can't remember.
What store is it again?
Uncle's Games, I think.
Is it called Uncle Dave's Cafe?
That wasn't even remotely close to what I said.
Okay, what did you say? You
Uncle's Games.
I heard Uncle Dave's. Neat.
But yeah, storm count was at 3. I gotta take a picture of this for Twitter. But I think that's what we'll call it. That was fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to do these more in the future, and we can alternate on who's getting the packs and who's cracking them.
Oh yeah, I think I might hit up this game store this weekend. It'll be fun.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna close this out.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening to me and Andrew geek out over shiny pieces of paper.
It's been a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite things about the game is cracking packs and
loot boxes and gambling. Anyway, if you like what we do, be sure to leave us a comment. Let us know the sick pulls you're getting. Let us know that you're liking what we're doing by liking the video. How was that segue?
Liking really helps us out a lot.
It does. It makes us feel like it's all worth it. It keeps me away from the bottle for another day.
Oh my god, dude.
Ring that little bell so that you know when we upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless Andrew forgets to upload Monday, in which case every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah. I have been Tyler.
I've been Andrew.
And thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.